I'm off to run some errands. Please tidy up this place. Wow! How did you guys do it?
We got cleaners.
Cleaners?
You know it, Dad.
Cleaner, it works.
Coming up next on Plus TV, Plus News. Join our news team for half hour of local and national news. Plus News, informative, balanced, accurate, and current.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 25% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. Don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase. Love your Honda. It's all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
In the headlines for tonight's newscast, NHI expanded countrywide. 8 primary care provider contracts signed in the capital. New legal aid regime coming into effect upcoming fiscal year. Police officer charged after allegedly assaulting common law wife and 8-year-old during domestic dispute. And MOHW offers psychological first aid training for first responders. These stories and more coming up next on Plus News. Stay tuned.
This newscast is brought to you through the courtesy of Builders Hardware, your home improvement warehouse.
So this is how much I work to you then?
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic. Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble? A poor man out there, man. That's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower, she wants a garden.
But builders are too far.
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Kenneth!
Oh, yeah.
Like you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
Welcome to Plus News for Thursday, February 19th. I am Nevia Ramos. The government of Belize on Tuesday signed contracts with 8 healthcare institutions to expand primary care services under the National Health Insurance. The agreement extends the NHI coverage to the entire north side of Belize City, as well as Belmopan, San Ignacio, Santa Elena, Benque Viejo, and surrounding communities. Today's ceremony marked the full rollout of NHI, an initiative, according to Dr. Marco Mendez, that has been in the works for the past 25 years.
25 years have passed. when the pilot project in Belize City was done. And now, I would say finally, the people of Bemopan and Cayo will be receiving that quality healthcare for their people. The NHI will be rolled out to the entire country. That was the promise made under the manifesto of the present government. And the national rollout will be fulfilled today. The entire country will be getting the services of the NHI. Affordable healthcare, quality healthcare, accessible healthcare. Those are the main objectives of the National Health Insurance.
The Prime Minister was also present at this morning's ceremony, calling the occasion historic. PM Briceño emphasized that the NIH initiative is all about hope and offering medical services to individuals without breaking their pockets.
For a quarter of a century, that pilot project in the south side of Belize City has been more than just a program. It has been a laboratory of hope. We learned lessons there, some hard, some triumphant. We learned that when you invest in primary care, you save lives. We learned that when you empower local clinics and pay for performance, quality improves. We learned that the journey to universal health coverage is a marathon, not a sprint. So today, my friends, after 25 years of running that race, that marathon, we have reached the final critical mile. I am very proud and deeply moved to announce the official rollout of the final phase of the National Health Insurance to the Cayo District. This is the moment we have been working towards for a generation. To the 80,000 Belizeans in this district who are now eligible to register, let me be clear about what this means for you and your family. It means that the doctor you visit, the medicine you need, the chronic care management for conditions like diabetes and hypertension, these essential services are now backed by the full strength of a national system designed to put quality care within your reach. It means your health is now our government's bottom line. So as we turn the page on this final chapter of the rollout, we are not just signing people up for a card. We're signing a new social contract, a new social compact with the people of the Cayo District. It's a contract that guarantees dignity, a contract that promises protection over reaction, a contract that declares that in Belize, your health matters.
Following this ceremony, we spoke to 3 representatives from the institutions that were chosen to offer NHI services in Belmopan and the surrounding communities.
Well, we're very happy, I think we have a social responsibility now with the residents of Belmopan and the other outside communities, as we also serve Armenia, St. Margaret, Agua Viva, and the Springfield community. So I'm really happy, I think our establishment has a great responsibility with the people. I'm also would like to acknowledge NHI and the government of Belize as their commitment to keep improving healthcare services is a reality. I think NHI is a program that helps bridge that gap between patients and getting not only affordable but quality healthcare services.
Well, Total Health Solutions is a relatively new company. However,
the experience goes beyond the company. We've had engagement with multiple other primary care providers, among other support services. So, with this new company that we would have created, it generates a new opportunity for the communities which we are going to serve, and not only for the communities but also for the healthcare providers who are actual mature persons within the healthcare systems, whether it's doctors, support auxiliary nurses, registered nurses, among other services providers that we do have within our businesses, within the business actually.
That means a lot for me and the residents of Black Manedi, because we be able to access a health care system in the maximum quality with affordable and also free, because we this impact us. We don't have to come to Belmopan to have a medical care. You'll be right there, improve the lives of our residents and our children. That is wonderful.
Earlier this month, the Cabinet announced that in the upcoming fiscal year, the Legal Aid Act of 2023 would be coming into effect and would establish the Legal Aid Commission. According to the Cabinet's press release, in establishing the Legal Aid Commission, the government seeks to make legal aid readily available to certified persons of small or moderate economic means, while enabling the cost of providing legal aid to be defrayed by the National Assembly. Attorney General of Belize, Anthony Sylvester, told us more.
The legal aid bill was passed in 2023. It has as its aim, amongst its aims, giving a legal regime to legal aid. So as legal aid currently stands, there's no legal structure to it. Legal aid is a legal advice and service center, which is housed under the Attorney General's Ministry, and it's staffed by Crown Counsel and staff which are employed by the government of Belize. However, in other jurisdictions, experience has shown that for legal aid to properly reach and provide the level of services to those who really require it, it should properly be managed by a more autonomous body. And so the intent is to have the new legal aid regime be managed by a commission, which will have representation from the judiciary, DPP's office, the Bar Association, the Solicitor General, and Human Development. Amongst the services that this legal aid act seeks to provide is to extend the services to in cases for emergency domestic emergency services for domestic violence application. The thing though is that it is not or will not be available to everyone. It will obviously have be for persons who are low and middle income, and they will have to satisfy a means test. Now, the act was passed in 2023, but it is just being operationalized in this new fiscal year. There's still some things that need to be done.
$1 million will be added to the legal aid fund over the next 5 years to ensure a smooth rolling out of the initiative. And Attorney General Anthony Sylvester also spoke about Kenrick Ball's battle with the Belize Police Department. Ball has been placed on suspension by the department because Ball refused to cut his dreadlocks, a hairstyle which is allowed on female police officers. Notably, in 2021, Attorney General Sylvester served as defense attorney for 2 female police officers who fought to wear their locks at work and won. Now he appears on the government side.
So we are observing this case, and in fact, actually, there's a meeting we have tomorrow with the police department. This is the issue. Now, in this seat, I have a appreciation for the need for certain policies and rules and laws to be in place, particularly as it relates to a body like the police department, which must be disciplined and much be organized. And so As you rightly pointed out, my job is to ensure that and is to advise. So a particular department or ministry, they may have a policy, and they may have a reason, a rationale for that policy, which is one of the things courts look to. So no one has an absolute right. Indeed, the Constitution says that you have a right to freedom of expression, freedom of conscience, freedom of movement, etc. But those rights are subject to the expression and enjoyment of rights of others, and they also may be limited in the public interest. And so the court usually look at like a three-prong test. They look at, okay, so you want to limit this person's right to conscience or religion, for instance. What is the justification for that particular limitation of the right? Then the court will then look at, okay, so how do you go about limiting this person's right? And then is that mechanism connected to what you say is irrational? And then they try to look at whether if you've gone too far, is this really necessary to go too far, or it could be a limiting of the right in a less restrictive way. So those are things that obviously the state will have to address, and we intend to and address the matter, because it's very important. As I said, the police department is an organized, disciplined body, and it works for all of us. And so it's important, therefore, that we have a system in place, and as well we have rules and in place that allow for them to be effective and efficient in the discharge of their duty as a department.
We will be taking our first break for the evening and be back with our news, so be sure to stay tuned.
So this is how much I work to you then?
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure, you ought to order.
Sure, and I may think flowers may romantic. Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble? A poor man out there, man, that's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower, she wants a garden.
But builders, they're too far.
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Ken! Ota! Like you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware.
Over the past 5 years, Digi has invested more than $17 million to revolutionize Belize's digital future. Our advanced 4G LTE network and expanded fiber infrastructure have empowered vital road arteries, connected the farthest valleys and fertile farmlands, linked the bustling cities to the remote keys, and brought cutting-edge connectivity to schools, businesses, healthcare centers, and tourist destinations, fueling economic growth, enhancing education, and strengthening communities across the nation. By choosing Digi, you're leading Belize's digital transformation, bridging distances, opening opportunities, and empowering every corner of our beautiful country. Connect with Digi. Empower Belize.
Festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, and you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your heart will rejoice. The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on the Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 6 p.m. as a Heavenly's Productions brings to you Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus
Featuring the hottest gospel artist coming out of the Bahamas, Sherwin Gardner.
So I say, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I worship you, O Jah. Tell them that the praise will never stop. All I want to do is give you the highest praise.
Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel artists from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus and I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing, and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenly for life, serving Jesus Christ.
From Atlanta, Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 501 from Capital City, Belmopan. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City, Orange Walk. Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team, Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carballo and his GCO group. Remember Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus. Rocking on the world. I said,
Taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors: Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, PlusTV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
Need a fresh new kitchen, flip that switch, ignition, G appliances shine. Every knob, every line, all aligning, turn the shower on. Feel gold, colder in the chrome. So bold from the tiles to the tiny screws. We've got the wow you choose. All in one place, Design Depot. Everything you need for the life you want. Let's go! From the floor to the paint to the patio glow. Build it up, light it up, watch your dream home grow. All in one place, all in one place, all in one place, all in one place, all in one place.
Design Depot, all in one place.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology, it's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures. Customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter, smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service, and actionable energy insights. Distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids, and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Come to Banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquet's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquet fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight.
Banquet, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Come to Banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquet's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquet fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skins. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight.
Banquet, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology, it's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures, customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter, smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service, and actionable energy insights. Distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids, and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Need a fresh new kitchen, flip that switch ignition, GE appliances. appliances shine. Every knob, every line, I'll align and turn the shower on. Feel gold, colder in the chrome. So bold from the tiles to the tiny screws. We've got the wow you'll choose. All in one place, Design Depot. Everything you need for the life you want. Let's go! From the floor to the paint to the patio glow. Build it up, light it up, watch your dream home grow. All in one place, all in one place, all in one place, all in one place, all in one place.
Design Depot, all in one place. And we are back. A 39-year-old police officer is out on bail tonight after being charged in connection with a domestic dispute that left his common-law wife wounded and her 8-year-old son injured. PC Philip Garbut, attached to the Traffic Support Unit, was arraigned today in Court Number 2 at the Belize City Magistrates Court. He pleaded not guilty to 3 charges: aggravated assault, wounding, and harm to a child. The charges stem from an incident on Tuesday, February 17, 2026, at the family's house in Belize City. According to police, gender-based violence personnel responded to a report made by Garbut's 38-year-old common-law wife. The woman told authorities that around 2:45 p.m., while she was cleaning meat in the kitchen, an argument erupted over dirt on the floor. She alleges that the officer became enraged, choked her, and punched her in the face, causing her upper lip to burst. During the altercation, her 8-year-old son reportedly intervened with an iron bat in an attempt to defend his mother. Police say that Garbut grabbed the bat from the child and slapped him twice. The woman further reported that when she tried to shield her son, she was slapped again. The entire incident was reportedly captured on home surveillance footage. Both the woman and her son were issued medical forms and examined by a doctor. Her injuries were classified as wounding, while the child's injuries were classified as harm. The boy reportedly complained of pain to his eyes. There was no objection to bail, and the senior magistrate granted the accused bail in the sum of $2,000 with one surety of the same amount. He is scheduled to return to court on April 16, 2026. The matter remains before the court. 20-year-old Shenyon Levi Barrow has pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter in the 2025 shooting death of 21-year-old Floyd McFadden. Barrow, who was 18 at the time of the incident, appeared today before Justice Derek Sylvester in the High Court. On the advice of his attorney, Michael Perfeet, he pleaded not guilty to murder but guilty to manslaughter under a plea agreement accepted by the Crown. Justice Sylvester deferred sentencing until April 14, 2026. On that date, the agreed facts of the case will be read in court. The judge also ordered a social inquiry report, antecedent report, psychiatric evaluation, and victim impact statements ahead of sentencing. Barrow was remanded to the Belize Central Prison pending that hearing. The charge stems from a shooting in the early hours of March 22, 2025 on Cemetery Road in Belize City. Police responded to reports of shots fired and found a white Ford Fusion crashed in a drain near Johnson Street. Inside the vehicle was McFadden, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 other men were in the vehicle, Dion Gladden and Troy Gentle, who were also injured and taken to the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital for treatment. A third victim, Jaheem Bent, was later found on Basra Street with a gunshot wound to the back after reportedly fleeing during the attack. Investigators determined that 2 men on a motorcycle had opened fire on the vehicle as it traveled along Cemetery Road. Barrow was initially arraigned in 2025 on multiple charges, including murder, attempted murder, grievous harm, and dangerous harm. With today's plea, the matter now moves to sentencing in April. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is currently investigating 2 cases of malaria in the Toledo district and 2 cases of tuberculosis in the Belize district. According to the Director of Public Health and Safety, Dr. Melissa Diaz, the 2 malaria cases were identified in Creek Sarko, and contact tracing has led the Ministry of Health and Wellness to believe that the cases were imported from Guatemala.
We have confirmed 2 malaria cases in Cricosarco village. These persons had traveled over to Guatemala within the time frame and started with symptoms in the mid-January, and they were recently diagnosed. So these cases are defined as imported cases, which means that they had become infected outside of Belize. Even though it's imported, that we define them as imported cases, it's also important to note that we need to ensure that there's no transmission, no local transmission in country. So we still give the education aspects. We try to ensure that persons utilize what is needed, the repellent, the keeping the home screened, staying indoors, etc. And we also do enhanced surveillance. So we go to the villages and the surrounding villages. We test everyone. We look for persons with fever. We look for persons with joint pains and other signs and symptoms of malaria, and we do our testing. In Belize, with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we're able to readily test for dengue, malaria, CHIKV, Zika, and so these are vector-borne illnesses that may present with very similar symptoms. So we are encouraging the public that if you do have any of these symptoms, just come to any of our facilities and you can be easily tested.
Over 300 officers from the MOHW are currently on the ground across the country. Diaz says that if more cases do pop up, they are ready.
We feel that each area is very prepared. We have done significant capacity building with our healthcare team, including community health workers. As you see, Cricosarco, the community health worker thought of vector-borne illness and did the testing that was necessary. And throughout our country, we have strong technical advisors in the area. We have persons, the doctors, the nurses, and the vector control staff who are very knowledgeable and well-versed in management, detection, testing, management of the vector-borne illnesses.
Shortly after the 2 cases of malaria were discovered, the ministry also got notice of 2 tuberculosis cases in the Belize district. The first case was discovered in a 16-year-old female student of Edward P. York High School. She was diagnosed with tuberculosis on February 12th through clinical and laboratory testing and has since been placed on treatment. The second case involves a 10-year-old who attends Ephesus Primary School. The younger student was evaluated at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital Authority and has also begun treatment. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has notified both schools and initiated standard public health measures, including contact tracing and screening, in line with national tuberculosis guidelines. Officials emphasize that tuberculosis is treatable and that screening, diagnostic services, and medication are provided free of cost at public health facilities nationwide. Authorities say they continue to monitor the situation closely and are encouraging anyone experiencing persistent symptoms such as prolonged cough, fever, or unexplained weight loss to seek medical attention promptly. We will be taking our last break for the evening and be back with more news, so be sure to stay tuned.
So this is how much I work to you then.
So what, you may want 3 then?
Sure. You ought to order.
Sure. And I may think flowers may romantic.
Did you just get your girl 1 flower? Now you're in trouble?
A poor man out there, man. That's sin.
Your girl doesn't just want 1 flower. She wants a garden.
But builders are too far.
That's why we brought the store to you.
At shopbuildersbz.com, we make it easier to find all your building needs. Shop anytime, enjoy delivery right at your door, and save with every purchase. For February only, first-time users get to enjoy a special reward when signing up.
Ken! Ota! Hey, you do all of this?
Yes, with Builders Hardware. We will keep doing what we're doing until every child in this country drinks clean water. When every child in this country drinks clean water, then we know we have gotten to a really good place. And we are working very hard to achieve that.
Today's handover represents a concrete step towards expanding safe and reliable water services for children and families. Access to safe water is essential for health, education, resilience, especially in rural communities where challenges remain greatest.
As leaders, we have to have a vision of wanting to improve the lives of our people. And we don't know it all, but by working with the community, we come to the community and we identify the needs of our community. And by doing so, we can then work together, the government in partnership with very important organizations like UNICEF. The work of supporting our people, be it in water, in electricity, in roads, in health and education, has to be a partnership with other partners.
Festival come to this very nation.
In Isaiah 30:29 it says, "And you will sing as on the night you celebrate a holy festival, and your heart will rejoice." The body of Christ will unite, and many hearts will rejoice on Saturday, March 7, 2026 at the Belize Civic Center, beginning at 6 p.m. as a Heavenly's Productions brings to you Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus.
Featuring the hottest gospel artist coming out of the Bahamas, Sherwin Gardner.
So I say, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I worship you, O Jah. Tell them that the praises never stop. All I want to do is give you the highest praise.
Also showcasing one of the biggest gospel artists from out of Trinidad and Tobago, Positive, dropping his hit tunes.
Rolling in my two-man army, my Jesus and I wanna sing out some sweet gospel reggae. Blessing after blessing, and nothing can hold it back.
And then it's the return of the biggest gospel band in Belize, Heavenly.
I'm gonna be heavenly's for life, serving Jesus Christ.
And all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, USA, the daughter of the world-famous televangelist Creflo Dollar, none other than Jordan Dollar, with her hit song. Also highlighting Genesis 501 from Capital City, Belmopan. Blind Sight, Genesis Gospel Band from Sugar City, Orange Walk. Reality Youth, Pastor Herman Blees and the Kings Park Prince team, Pastor Frederick Gordon and Garin Carvalho and his GCO group. Remember, Jesus Festival.
Jesus Festival. Yeah, Jesus. Rocking on the world, I say
Taking place Saturday, March 7, Belize Civic Center from 6 p.m. until. Bring out the entire family for a time of praising God and witnessing souls being saved and lives being recommitted to God. For tickets, call 615-4766. That's 615-4766. Sponsors: Angela's Press, Racina's Imports, Cellular World, Love FM, More FM, Quem Radio, Vibes Radio, PlusTV, Channel 7, Channel 5, and Wave Radio. Come on out and be blessed.
Yeah, Jesus.
Our Belize City is growing because of continued investment. From rehabilitated streets to expanding neighborhoods, significant investments are improving how our city functions and how our communities live. In the last 2 years alone, more than 250 streets have been rehabilitated, representing almost $34 million invested directly in physical infrastructure that improves access and quality of life. At the same time, the city continues to expand. Developments such as the Holy Emmanuel area, also known as Gungulung, reflect increased demand for land and housing as Belize City expands in a more sustainable and resilient way. These planned developments support safer communities and long-term sustainability, contributing to rising property values across the city. Under the Town's Property Evaluation Act, property values are required to be reviewed every 5 years. The last valuation adjustment was done in 2013. This adjustment simply brings property values closer to today's market reality, while the tax rate itself remains unchanged. Let's break it down. For a vacant property valued at $25,000, we charged an annual 2% rate, which works out to a payment of $500. Under the new assessment, the property value has appreciated by 40%, making the property now worth $35,000. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 2% of $35,000, which works out to $700. For an occupied property valued at $25,000, we charged an annual 10% rate, which works out to $2,500. Under the new assessment, the property's value has appreciated by 18%, making the property now worth $29,500. Therefore, the new amount to be paid will be 10% of $29,500, which works out to $2,950. To support property owners, your Belize City Council is encouraging residents to take advantage of the ongoing property tax prepayment incentives. Property owners receive 15% off in January, 10% off in February, and 5% in March. And senior citizens receive a 35% discount year-round. Remember, this adjustment represents an appreciation in your property's worth, not a change in tax rates, ensuring continued investment in your city while providing valuable data for informing investors, municipal bondholders, and individual credit assessments. And we want residents to know the law provides a clear mechanism for review and appeal if needed. Those who believe their valuation does not fairly reflect their property have the right to engage the Belize City Valuation Appeals Board. Your Belize City Council remains committed to openness, accountability, and ensuring that growth is managed fairly for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Give me the real milk, the number one milk, Donna milk, then up Donna milk. You can whip it cream, for Donna milk it is real, yes, Donna milk, then up Donna milk. All over Cayo and in San Pedro, Donna milk, then up Donna milk. Donna milk in the morning, Donna milk in the evening, Donna milk. Give me Donna milk. Up north in Corozal, supermarket and them all, Donna milk, then up Donna milk. All over this land and in Belmopan, yes, Donna milk. Give me Donna milk. Say in Dangriga, down south in Fiji, Donna milk, then love Donna milk. You can hear this talk, cause it's in Orange Walk, yeah, Donna milk. I love Dano milk. Dano milk powder. Probably the best milk powder in the world. Dano.
Today, the Ministry of Health and Wellness kicked off a two-day mental health psychological first aid stakeholders training in Belize City. First responders such as members of the Belize Coast Guard, Belize Defense Force, and the Belize Police Department were all present, learning about psychological first aid training, how to administer it, and how to apply it to themselves after witnessing and responding to traumatic events. Yvette Quintanilla from the Ministry of Health told us more.
The participation today is for first responders. We have the Belize Coast Guard, Defense Force, the Belize Police Department. We have traffic wardens as well. And we are doing training on psychological first aid. We have seen the rise in traffic incidents, in fires, in different things, crises that are happening across the country. So we are providing this training so that they are better prepared in terms of the response that they're supposed to be providing. Oftentimes the focus is on the physical injuries, and we tend to forget the emotional aspect when people are affected by these different sorts of traumas that are occurring throughout the country. And as well, because of the constant exposure that they are getting to the different traumas, they themselves can be affected. So we are trying to provide them with the skills so that they are able to take care of their own emotional well-being as well. The psychological first aid is a humane response to the different traumas, disasters that are faced. And three things that we normally teach people are to look, to listen, and to link. These are the basis of the psychological first aid. And like I said, it is in their line of duty, then this is what we are focusing on for them to be able to provide the support to the public.
We also spoke to members of the Belize Coast Guard and the Police Department who explained why the training is important.
One of the things we have noticed in the Belize Police Department is that a lot of police officers has been going through a lot of stuff. We have seen police officers dropping with sickness, health issues, financial issues, and a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping to get information to help these officers, because recently we had sent out a survey across the Belize Police Department that should help us to understand or to create a safe place for our police officers to provide peer support for our officers. So I'm hoping to get as much information I can from this training so I can take it back to our department for us to create this safe place for police officers to come in and speak about any PTSD, any stuff they are going through. We just want to create a safe place for them.
I think it will therefore help us a whole lot, especially when we go back, because at the end of the day, we are first responders. The health service technician for the Coast Guard, basically I manage in the medical department. In terms, this will help me in let's say, counseling my people. I help my guys, my frontline guys who actually goes out on patrol, who may experience a different type of trauma. This will enable me to counsel them, guide them, and help them in order to learn how to go about treating themselves.
The Ministry of Human Development, Family Support and Gender Affairs, through the Department of Human Services, officially launched its annual court access training on February 18, 2026, with an opening ceremony at Zence's Resort. This ceremony brought together senior government officials, members of the judiciary, and development partners to highlight the importance of strengthening collaboration between social workers and the courts to better protect children in Belize. The two-day training, held under the theme Capacity Building and Sensitization for Child Protection Social Workers, Court Access and Judicial Practice, involves 57 children service officers, supervisors, and designated CRD officers. It focuses on strengthening participants' competence and confidence in preparing court documents, participating in judicial proceedings, and applying child protection legislation. Training sessions cover child protection laws, court applications, bail hearings, preparation of social inquiry reports and affidavits, and appeals. Facilitation is led by Shanti Morrison, Director of the Belize Family Court, and Deborah Rogers, Chief Magistrate. The court access training forms part of DHS's annual professional development program and aligns with ongoing legislative reforms, including sensitization around the Families Bill. Officials noted that participants are expected to demonstrate improved court readiness and collaboration with judicial partners, contributing to stronger child protection outcomes nationwide. And that's the news. Thank you for joining all of us here at PlusTV. Good night and God bless. I am Nevia Ramos.